Bugs and glitches are now a common sight in video games. This isn't always a bad thing, however, as many players love to exploit these issues to their own ends. It is possible to use glitches in order to find hidden treasure deep inside the game's programming. With our help, these bugs will reveal video game bugs that can be wielded like weapons and used in your favor. But before we begin, make sure to click that subscribe button to join our notification squad. Also, give this video a big thumbs up. Let's get started. You can bounce off the walls in Gears of War. The ability to hide and fire behind cover took a long time to come to the shooter genre. Very few games before Gears of War gave you a basic version of it. They gave you buttons that allowed you to lean in one direction without moving, but that wasn't exactly an effective tactic. Most of the time you were shot and/or killed the moment you poked your head from around the corner. The Gears of War's franchise embraced cover mechanics, and the developers made it a point to make it a defining feature of the game throughout the series. One of the most effective tactics in the Gears of War franchise is called wall bouncing. This allows you to exploit a glitch where you can move between two pieces of cover at lightning speed. When used in a tunnel, it becomes even harder to hit someone who's bouncing between two pieces of cover. The presence of this glitch is controversial among Gears of War's fans and was never really resolved by developers. Many players believe the glitch gives the players who use it a distinct advantage over those who don't. Either way, this didn't stop those who knew about it. The Bayonetta rocket launcher combo. Bayonetta's most iconic weapons are a set of 4 pistols called Scarborough Fair. She fires 2 of them with her hands, while the other 2 remain strapped to the heels of her boots. Bayonetta uses an acrobatic fighting style, which allows her to use all 4 of her guns in combat. As you progress through the original Bayonetta, you'll unlock more weapons. These include Lieutenant Colonel Kilgore, which is a set of rocket launchers which can be equipped to either Bayonetta's hands or feet. This is by far the slowest weapon in the game, but it's also the most powerful in the game. If the slowness bothers you, don't worry. It's possible to vastly increase the speed at which Bayonetta can fire rockets. This can be done by equipping the Durga claws on her hands and Lieutenant Colonel Kilgore on her heels. The Durga has a combo which involves several kicks. If you switch sets throughout the combo, you can fire multiple rockets in a few seconds of intense kicking. Once you get this glitch down, you'll be unstoppable. Using this glitch is a bit on the cheap side, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Ashley lays the smackdown in Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4 is considered to be one of the greatest video games of all time. This is why it's been ported to so many systems and can still be enjoyed on numerous platforms to this day. However, even the classics have their bad points, and in Resident Evil 4's case, it's in the sections where you control Ashley. Ashley Graham is the daughter of the President of the United States of America, who's kidnapped during a trip to Spain. It's up to Leon Kennedy to rescue her and return her to America, which means you gotta protect her for large portions of the game. There are a few sections, though, where you have to control Ashley on her own. And of course, these are the times when she needs to hide and run from enemies. With this next glitch, you can use it to turn Ashley into a professional wrestler. If you open a door when a monster's about to open it, Ashley will take them to Suplex City. Unfortunately, Ashley's Brock Lesnar impression was removed from later versions of the game. This is definitely one glitch all gamers can agree on is not cheap to use. The unstoppable CYAN. Squaresoft did their best to make all the playable characters in Final Fantasy VI as unique as possible. This means that all of the characters have unique traits and commands in battle that aren't shared by their colleagues. However, CYAN might have the worst unique ability in the game. His Bushido command gives him access to 8 different abilities, but they all require the player to wait, as the attacks all have charge times. This means that the enemy will be wailing on your party while you wait for CYAN's strongest abilities to become active. Thankfully, it is possible to use this glitch to turn CYAN into the best character in the game. How, you ask? You do this by making sure CYAN dies. Yep, he has to die. But wait, there's more. You have to make sure he's transformed into an imp and has his Bushido Sky ability activated before he dies. If you revive CYAN, then he'll immediately launch an endless series of attacks that won't end until all the enemies are dead without giving them any chance to fight back. Just remember though that with great power comes great responsibility, so use this wisely. GUILE'S handcuffs. It's possible to win a match in Street Fighter 2 by waiting for the clock to run out. If you have more health than your enemy when the countdown reaches 0, then you'll win the match. Most battles never come to this, as the average Street Fighter 2 round has more than enough time for a definitive result to be reached. Guile, however, has the ability to exploit the clock in the arcade version of Street Fighter 2. This is possible through the handcuff glitch. Here's what you need to do. If you try to execute a throw after inputting the commands for a flash kick, then it's possible for the other player to become frozen. The other player will then stay close to Guile throughout the battle as if the two of them are handcuffed together. The round won't end while this glitch is in effect. The only way you can end this is by performing a throw move on your opponent. If a Guile player manages to get the first hit in and then execute this glitch, then they can win the round by waiting for the timer to run out and then ending the glitch. Bombing the Capra Demon. The original Dark Souls game is known for being tough but fair. This is true except for the Capra Demon boss. It's the most frustrating boss in the game due to the fact that you have to fight it in a tiny arena. To make matters worse, during the battle, the demon's 2 dog minions are continuously attacking you. The job of the dogs is to stun lock you so that the Capra Demon can smash you over the head with its giant blades. This means that you have to spend the first few minutes of the fight dealing with the dogs while avoiding the Capra Demon before the real fight can begin. Fortunately, it is possible to beat the Capra Demon without even stepping foot inside of its boss arena. This is because there's no barrier on top of the entrance to this area. You can stand outside the fog door and throw bombs at the Capra Demon from a safe distance. He'll have no choice but to stand there while you knock his health down with fire damage. For us though, that's a bit too easy of a glitch. We like to get down and dirty and face these bosses head to head. What do you think? The Yellow Devil Paws. The Yellow Devil is easily the most difficult boss in the first Mega Man game. This is because it can break itself into pieces and fly across the screen. It'll be invulnerable during this attack, while you're forced to make pixel-perfect jumps in order to avoid taking damage. While the Yellow Devil reforms itself, you'll be given a few seconds to hit its tiny weak point before it breaks apart and starts moving across the screen again. But never fear, the gamer is here with a glitch to help you get past this boss without a hitch. It's totally possible to beat the Yellow Devil in only a few seconds. All you have to do is exploit this glitch that requires you to use the Thunderbeam weapon. While the Yellow Devil opens its eye for the first time, take aim and make sure to fire the Thunderbeam at it. If you continue to pause and unpause the game, then the Thunderbeam will repeatedly hit the Yellow Devil. This will allow you to kill the Yellow Devil before it breaks apart and start flying across the screen. Say goodbye to the hours it used to take you to beat this boss. Falling off the Rainbow Road. There are some glitches that can turn you into a godlike being, and others that can help you complete a game in record time. The most important glitches are the ones that ease your pain, as is the case with this one that will allow you to shave off a lot of time from the terrible Rainbow Road in Mario Kart 64. By far the worst Rainbow Road in the Mario Kart series is the one from Mario Kart 64. Nintendo abandoned the awesome track from the original Super Mario Kart, which required great skill in order to finish, in favor of a boring slog that remains the longest track in the series. The N64 version of the Rainbow Road has barriers on the side and only a few obstacles, which make it long and boring. It is possible to shave around 30 seconds off of the Rainbow Road by driving through a gap in the barrier before the first turn. If you hit it just right, then you'll land on a further part of the track instead of the abyss. This will allow you to finish this awful track more swiftly. If only the world had known about this when the game first came out. Fire Emblem has mind control. The early Fire Emblem games are all brutally difficult. This is because they have permadeath, which means that any character who dies in battle is lost for good. You may find yourself short a few party members if the enemy gets a few critical hits in. This can lead to a lot of saves coming for people who don't like to lose their allies in battle. Fire Emblem, the Blazing Blade, has a glitch that makes the game a lot easier though. It's possible to place mines on the ground, which will damage an enemy unit if stepped upon. These will also allow you to control the enemy for a single turn. To do this, you need to reset the game while the enemy is taking damage from the mine. If you continue the game, then the enemy unit will be yours to control. You can then make them discard their weapons or place their best items in the final slot, which will guarantee that these items will be given to the player as a prize when the unit is killed. This glitch allows you to acquire numerous unique enemy items that cannot be found any other way. Samus and her murder beam. Super Metroid is one of the greatest games on the Super Nintendo platform. It's also one of the most difficult games on the Super Nintendo platform, if not all of them. Samus has to contend with armies of respawning aliens and a harsh environment at all times. The player rarely gets a chance to relax as they explore the dangerous planet Zebes. One of the ways in which you can make Super Metroid easier is by exploiting a glitch that will allow Samus to use all of her beams at once. This is referred to as the murder beam by fans. In order to use the murder beam, you need to acquire all of the other beams in the game. If you perform a complex sequence of actions that involves equipping and unequipping the beams while jumping, once done, you'll then be allowed to fire a shot which has all the properties of all 5 beams at once. Now this is a cool sight. It will also allow you to deal massive amounts of damage to all your enemies, making you nearly invulnerable. You also have the ability to take out bosses like Ridley and Mother Brain in only a few shots. So, which of these glitches shocked you the most? Did you discover any of these glitches on your own without any help? What other glitches should we have included in this video? Let us know in the comments section below. Also, don't forget to share this video and give us a big thumbs up. And if you haven't already, click that subscribe button so you can watch more videos from our playlist. Thanks for watching. Until next time.